Hey everybody, it's Amanda.
And Rick.
And it is time to hang out. I'm so used to doing our weekly Bible studies. We have just like this thing that we kind of say and do. And I almost want to say every time, welcome to the Bible study. But we're just hanging out tonight. This is just us on a regular channel. And it's been a while.
Over a year, 2 years. How long has it been?
A very, very long time. I am going to do one thing that I normally do on the other channel. Is I am going to share the link for this live event, just to let everybody on, Facebook and everybody know that we are here, because I know they needed a reminder. In fact, I might even go live real fast on Instagram and tell everybody just for the fun of that too. So, yeah, I will say, just to give you something to talk about, we missed you too. Thank you. Just to give you something to talk about, people were asking for family updates. So you might tell them like the things that we did today while I share this, and just, you know what to do.
Huh. So what do we do? I was off from work today.
Yeah.
So we spent some time with Brianna and our new son-in-law, Trey.
Who we love, by the way.
Yeah. And, when the thought of doing another live event came up, I guess we started talking about it days ago, I guess. It seemed kind of odd to do it again, at least for me.
Did it?
A little bit. Like, I always thought it would be a good idea, but then time starts passing on, and then to go live, it's kind of funny. All of a sudden, I feel anxious. And we were live, I guess, on Tuesday nights for years. It felt like years.
It was years.
Okay, my mind gets fuzzy about how long it actually was.
It was at least 2, wasn't it?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Hey, I see everybody popping up in the chat, including our beautiful son-in-laws here. And I'm assuming my daughter's with him.
But yeah, all of a sudden I have anxiety. We do the Bible study live, and that doesn't really make me nervous. Something about this makes me stressed. You are in the right channel, I imagine.
Yes, I am. For sure. For sure. I'm sorry it's taking me so long. I'm so used to, like I said, doing the Bible study. So and my daughter's here too. Yay. I'm so used to like writing certain things for the Bible study that now it's like I'm like, what do I write to let people know we're here? I was like, let's hang out. That's about all I can think of. Anyway, I just wanted to.
So we're doing family updates, is that right? Oh, I got a notification. So how personal are we getting?
Well, I mean, like I said, you could talk about the things that we did today, and we'll see what else we can come up with.
I know, but I'm thinking, what do we do?
I just got a text from my daughter who says she's watching her favorite YouTubers. Bridget said the famous Rick coffee cup.
Yeah, I still got my cup.
Yep, I'm gonna.
Although I do have a bigger cup with me now. We're in a different room now than we used to be in. And like I said, we do the Bible study in this room. And where I used to get up in the middle of the live event and go fill up my coffee, she's got me all trapped in here with wires and everything from the laptop, and then charging, and then got a ring light and everything. So I find myself trapped. I can't get out. So I bring all my coffee with me now. So I start with my small cup, and then I work my way over to the big cup.
All right.
So I park it for an hour. I think that's the plan tonight. About 40 minutes to an hour.
Yeah, we're probably going to do about an hour just to hang out. And hey, Jess is here. Mom's here. My mom is here, you guys. Like, you want to talk about exciting. That's there you go. All right. We had, I'll talk about the updates in just a second. I do want to tell you, we had some questions. I told everybody. I posted on Instagram, I posted on Facebook, and I even posted on YouTube here and told everybody that we were going to be live. Okay. And I said, if you have any questions, let us know, and we'll talk, we'll see what you got. And you guys, since you're here, we're live. If you have any questions, you can put it in the chat, and we'll try to make sure we get to as many as possible. So there's that. But the first question that we've gotten asked from everybody is they want family updates. And so we're going to make sure we give you that. They want to know, what the kids are doing, what we've been doing. And then we've got a few other questions. So the obvious thing is, how are we doing? We're doing great. We're by ourselves.
Yeah, it's been an odd transition, but it's like, I don't know, it's like a new pair of shoes. It's weird for a day or two, and then they fit right.
Gravity Shade 1 says, I have a question. Who's your favorite daughter?
Well, we have two now. I almost said we have one.
I was gonna say we do have a daughter-in-law, but clearly Gravity Shade 1, it would be Brianna is our favorite daughter, and Alyssa would be our favorite daughter-in-law.
Yeah, make it just yes.
Yeah. So there you go. But since you brought yourself up, favorite daughter, we'll talk about your updates first. Brianna and Trey are great. We spend a lot of time with them, relatively speaking.
Yeah, we see them more than any of the other kids.
Mm-hmm,
they actually care. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
They live nearest to us, first of all.
That's a factor.
And they are family people. Like they hang out with Trey's family. They hang out with us. You know, we do, like today we went and saw a movie together. My mom said, and I'm your favorite mother. You are. You're my favorite mother. See, Brianna said, we love y'all besties forever. Brianna and Trey are doing great. They have a home that they own. They have their vehicles that they own. They have they recently left their regular full-time positions to start a business at home, and they're doing great with that as well. What movie? We saw Jurassic Park. So they're doing great. And since I will answer the question for Brianna and for Ricky and Alyssa, one of the questions we got is there any sign of grandkids yet? And the answer is no. Believe me, when there is a grandchild to be announced, I'm going to announce it. So you will not have to ask. That will be announced as widely as possible. Brianna just said no. So they're all happy living their newlywed lives and doing their thing. And when the time comes, you know, when the Lord blesses, we'll let everybody know. But that is the truth for both of them. So so Brianna and Trey are doing great, running a business. Do you want to give updates on the other kids, or you just want me to run through them real fast?
No, you're running through them. I
figured you know, he's dad. Like when the kids call, like he doesn't even really talk. Like I do the thing. So
I listen.
Yeah,
it's like Ricky. Ricky will call from California, and I've been accused of not talking in the conversation, but I honestly I don't want to interrupt. I just want to hear his voice. You know, so and he's a storyteller, so he's happy to talk, and I'm happy to listen.
That's true. He gets it from his dad.
So that's how. Yeah, thank you. That's how that goes.
Did Brianna start her own channel yet? Yes, she did. It's there, Gravity Shade 1. Also, Brianna, if you're here, if you want to answer in the chat, Shauna asked how Lady is doing. And if you don't answer it, I'll answer it for you. So anyway, okay, hey,
Lady, we do miss the cat.
He misses Lady a lot, but we have plenty of cats here.
Yeah,
okay, we're not.
We got the porch cats, but
Cat Town is still thriving.
I will say that when Lady was here, I did not appreciate her.
Hi, Norway.
But I do miss her now that she's gone.
Yeah,
the cat.
Well, you know, I miss Lady. I love Lady, but I'm catted out right now, so. I want to be cat. You know how I'm kid free now? I want to be cat free. I want to just be like free. Yeah. You know what I mean? So we can just go do our thing, because we do have some travel plans for the future, and then we got to consider the cats. So
yeah, and the cats. You know, those of you who've watched for a while, we've had cats in different batches. We had the first batch, and then they've moved on. We had another batch after that, and on. And the batch of cats that we have now, they're very aggressive. Every time we go to feed them, it's like the running of the bulls.
Yeah. I
mean, they just charge. And I told her the other day that these cats are just too aggressive. They just sit there with their I like the ones that were gentle, and they would just sit there and they would wait for you to come out.
Yeah.
Now they cry at the door. They're running the show.
All right, I'm going to give the next update.
Which one?
We already talked about Ricky.
Are you drawing names out of a hat?
No, you just brought up Ricky. You were talking about him a minute ago, so I figured we'll talk about Ricky. Somebody had asked, and so I'll just fill you in while I'm talking about Ricky. They'd asked because they, I guess, didn't understand why Ricky had moved to Wisconsin originally, why they're in California, what's going on with them.
He was looking for a wife.
No, that's not like what
that's not true.
It's what happened, but that's not what happened. What the original plan was. So the idea, when he went to Wisconsin originally was he had graduated from college. He wasn't sure what his next step was. And so originally we had thought that he was going to go on a mission trip. We have friends who are missionaries in Ivory Coast,
Mhm.
and we'd planned for him to go there for probably a year just to, weigh some options. And Ricky, that didn't work out. That just, none of it worked out. And so another opportunity opened up for him to go work at a Christian camp for that summer.
That's Wisconsin.
In Wisconsin. And he was like, well, I don't know, but I don't really have any plans, so I'll just apply and see how it works. Man, that just smooth as butter. Next thing you know, he's there.
Mhm.
In fact, interesting little fact about that. He got one phone call before he went there, and it was just to give him some information before he went. And I got the message. It's still saved on my machine.
Mhm.
That phone call was from Alyssa.
That's the daughter-in-law.
Who was working at the camp. She was already there. And I saved that message because she left the number for the camp. And I thought, just in case, I wanted to have it just immediately available on my phone. And then next thing you know, it was at the end of the summer, into the fall. He's dating Alyssa. And I was like, she had no idea when she was calling my house that she was calling her future husband.
Yeah. And before we knew it, I was giving my best man speech.
That's true.
So
you were.
And so they were married.
So they met at the camp in Wisconsin.
Yeah, they were married at the camp that they met at.
Yep.
And now they left California. They're in California.
Okay.
They left Wisconsin for another camp.
Yes. So
in California.
The camps are connected.
Yeah.
So the camp that he was at was the camp in Wisconsin. And you guys know, you understand that they got married in 2020. And you all understand what was happening in 2020. Everything was shut down. And so the camp that they were at in Wisconsin they had to reduce their staff, which you can understand why. But they love Ricky and Alyssa. They wanted to make sure that Ricky and Alyssa really love camp ministry, wanted to continue in camp ministry. So what they did was they were connected with other camps, and they found them another opportunity at the camp in California. And so Ricky and Alyssa said, sure, we'll go to California. And so they went, and that's why they went to California, and they've been there ever since, and they've been working there, and they really love it. Turns out they feel like they are desert people.
My son's taken this whole cowboy look to him.
Oh, you would not believe it. I'm going to see if I can share a picture of him.
He wears the old like cowboy pants, shirts, and for church, he wears a bolo tie.
Yeah,
he has a collection now of hats.
He thinks he's Western.
So
he's as Southern as can be, but
that's Ricky.
And he thinks he's a cowboy. But yeah. So they're in. Oh yeah, he doesn't even have to be gluten-free anymore, Jess. That's ironic. He had to be gluten-free here. Rick and I had this conversation many times that we don't know what it is, but something here bothered him. But once he went to Wisconsin, he was there for a few months, and all of a sudden, all of his symptoms cleared up.
The northern air healed him.
And he hasn't had the same problems ever since he's been in California either. So I don't know what that was. I could have been, remember years ago, he got sick. And it could be that it just took him some time to heal.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it could be that there was something here that bothered him. We don't know. But hey, praise the Lord. He doesn't have to be.
Now he likes the desert.
Yeah. That he loves.
We were FaceTiming the other night, and my wife got up and left the room for a second. She said, "Here, talk to your son." So I talked to the boy for a few minutes, and he got out on his front porch, and he flipped the phone around, and he was showing me what he sees from his porch. And it's all desert, all this. And I told him, I said, your grass needs cutting, and
dad jokes.
Joke.
Dad jokes.
And
you knew those were coming.
Yeah. Anyway, I mean, seriously. I mean, any picture in your head of what a desert looks like, and that's what my son sees from his front porch. But they're desert people now.
Yeah, I told him they want us to come visit, and so I mentioned it. We're saving for a visit to California, and the one thing that concerns me is they have a lot of rattlesnakes out there. And Ricky told me that they're polite snakes because they let you know when they're there. Unlike the ones in North Carolina, which are sneaky. Don't let you know that they're
Well, rattlesnakes are childlike. That's why they have a rattle.
Oh, goodness gracious.
You know, they're okay.
More dad jokes.
They're okay.
All right. Brian update. We'll keep Brian's brief because, as you know, Brian is
we're just running through the kids.
private.
You know?
Yeah. In terms of Brian, as you know, when
Brianna's not on anymore.
She is. She was right there. She just said it's gross outside and it's humid.
Okay. I figure once we were done with her, she would lose interest.
Mom says she's only here for your Rick jokes.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's a lot of you guys. So anyway, in terms of Brian, you guys probably may know that Brian, when he was 19, got his bachelor's degree.
Mm-hmm.
And for a while, he worked at a nonprofit organization, and he worked his way up through different jobs and ended as the financial coordinator. Then he left. He just wanted to do something different and took a management position elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And that position wasn't a good fit for him either. And what he ended up doing was starting his own business. And that business led him into a new line of work. I think I could probably say what it is.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Brian is actually, what he started to do was a transport business.
Mm-hmm.
It was him and another friend had created this transport business, and they were working with medical facilities and ended up often transporting bodies. That's what they were doing often. And Brian,
for funeral homes and such.
Yeah. Brian is very professional.
Yep.
And so everybody kept telling him he should learn to be a funeral director. And Brian was like, no, I don't think I want to do that. And yeah, we are entrepreneurs, what we all do. So Brian absolutely rejected the idea of being a funeral director, but his friend who he had started the transport business with convinced him that it would be good to help the business if Brian went ahead and just got his license, and they would probably do something better with that. So Brian went ahead and went to school. So now he's back in school getting a degree in mortuary science. And he actually likes it so much that he signed over the business to his friend.
Yeah.
Got cashed out, and now he works full-time in a funeral home. So that is what Brian is doing. He's finishing his degree in mortuary science. He's working full-time in a funeral home, and he is very content with that job. And I think it suits him very well because he is, like I said, very professional, very pleasant.
And he pretty much has his hands in everything behind the scenes and in front of the scenes.
Yeah, he does all the things.
I mean, you can let your imagination go.
Yeah.
He pretty much takes part in the whole thing.
Yeah.
So
he does all of the things.
We went to see him on Memorial Day.
Yeah.
And I was not prepared for taking a tour.
No, we got to see the embalming room.
Yeah, I saw more than I wanted to.
That was a lot.
You know,
that's a lot.
And I will be honest with you. When we went into said room,
yeah,
even though there was nothing really in there to cringe about, just the knowing of what it was.
Yeah.
And he was pulling things out of the drawer and saying what this is for and what that is for. And I'll be honest with you, I suddenly started feeling a little woozy.
Yeah. And
I kind of leaned on the wall a little bit as to prop myself up.
Mm-hmm.
And then I thought, I don't want to touch anything in here.
Yeah.
So I quickly got out of there. And it's funny, just a few doors down from said room is their lounge where they eat, their break room. So I'm like, I would have put that on the other side of the building, you know. But anyway, we took a tour. I don't know what you did on Memorial Day, but the Bealles were hanging out at a funeral home.
Mm. Well, funny thing though, Brian is working in the funeral home full time. He's going to school full time. He's trying to finish up that mortuary science certificate so he can because he's already got a bachelor's degree. So he just needs to finish a certificate so he can be licensed to be a funeral director. And Brian, remember I said that he graduated at 19 and he worked for a nonprofit and he was the financial coordinator for that company. And they begged him to come back and do the financial coordinator job. So much so that they are paying him. I wasn't going to forget. They are paying him to drive because Brian actually lives now a little while away.
Mm-hmm.
They're paying him extra to drive down back where we are one day a week. And then the rest of the week he works remotely as the financial coordinator for that nonprofit. So he's doing the two jobs full-time and the full-time college. And he stays busy, and Brian is, everybody always thought Brian was the quiet one. He is kind of quiet, but he has the most active social life of anybody.
Yeah, he goes constantly. He's very reserved still, but
Yeah.
he's really busy constantly.
Brian, he's crazy, in the
And
best
all
way.
and all hours of the night.
Yes.
For the funeral home, a lot of the guys, and the ladies too. I think there are ladies.
There's ladies there.
They have to be on call.
Yeah.
So when he's on call, he's like doing stuff all throughout the night and
Yeah.
everything. When other people are asleep, he's like, doing stuff that I don't even want to describe.
Brianna says Brian is amazing. We love Brian, all caps. Brian is amazing. Tomorrow, I'm in fact having lunch with Brian. So Brian is still, he lives kind of far away, but because he comes down here one day a week for the financial coordinator job, we still try to, at least one day a week, like have lunch with him, or I at least like go give him a hug or something on a break.
And it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago, we kind of twisted his arm to make him come here on a Thursday night.
Yeah.
So we got dinner with him. Now, see, the deal was he was going to go home after work and do his laundry, but we twisted the arm. Well, we have a washing machine.
Yeah.
So 2 birds with 1 stone. He came here for dinner and did his laundry here.
Look, none of y'all are coming to my lunch date with Brian, okay? It is me and Brian, and Mom is trying to get involved and Brianna's trying to get involved, and I'm saying no. It is me and Brian. That's it.
Yeah.
Y'all can see him another time.
I'm not even invited. Notice it wasn't a dinner.
Sorry.
So
it's Mama and Brian. Anyway, so Marquis, let's not leave Marquis out. Okay. Marquis, he's still taking college classes because I just frankly don't know if he'll ever stop. He just is one of those people. I think he's taken 1 class this summer, 1 in the fall. He's just one of those people that is just going to keep going because it's just what he does. He likes it. What has he got? 3 degrees now? Like he's just got a bunch of them. He's just going to keep going. But he did recently get a really good full-time job, and he is very excited about it. I don't know if you guys ever saw Pearl. He has a car that he bought. He paid for cash, and its name is Pearl. He calls it Pearl, and he still has Pearl. He loves Pearl. He's very happy. He does have a lady friend who I have met and I really like, by the way. But I don't know if he's announcing anything like that, all out there. So
you just
but I'm not saying her name or anything, but
just keep pushing. She'll tell you.
She's a lovely lady.
Yeah.
And I really like her.
I haven't met her yet. He's supposed to bring her by sometime.
Yeah, he said he was going to do it twice.
The Bealles, I don't know if you know this, but we've gotten very rustic and woodsy. We have a fire pit now. And every once in a while, when I'm starting to feel my woodsy, I put on my flannel and I strike up the old fire pit.
Well, I don't know about putting on the flannel.
Actually, I've only done it
pretty hot.
My son-in-law's done it a couple times.
Yeah, Trey taught
But
us.
the last time I did it.
You did start the fire
right good.
all by yourself.
Huh? What do you think?
Yeah. You're all set with the fire.
although it was starting to go out, so my wife fixed it for me. So she taught me how to stack wood.
Well,
that was humbling.
It's an art.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's an art, but anyway. So that's Marquis lives about 3 hours away, so we don't see him as often, but we do try to go up there. And when he's coming down, he'll pop in. And I just saw him like maybe a month and a half ago.
He was here like a month ago.
Well, yeah, it wasn't even. He came here.
He popped
like a week or 2 ago.
He was just strolling through North Carolina and decided to pop.
He had some training for his job, and he was on his way back, and he popped by.
I was so excited to see him. You were in the other room. I opened the front door.
Yeah.
And I actually hugged him.
Oh.
Shocked me.
Oh.
I kind of stood back. His eyes got this big, and we just didn't say anything. That was weird. I mean, it wasn't a full-on hug, but it was.
Mom said, "Wow."
Yeah, I know. I got shot. I was tired, but it was more like one of these deals. It was manly.
Okay.
Huh?
Okay. Did you hug Trey today?
No, we shook.
Oh, okay.
We shook. I think when did I hugged him when he got married.
Did you?
I think so. Didn't I? I think so. Or maybe it was a holiday or something.
Mom said Rick hugged someone.
I'm good for about 1 hug per person 1 year during the year.
Okay.
Huh?
Except for me.
Well, you're the wife.
Yeah.
But fellas in the family get at least one hug.
One per year.
Because I hugged Brian sometime this
He
year.
budgets his hugs.
And last time I
He
saw
says sometime this year.
last time I saw him, I said, well, you take care of yourself and give him one of those. He's
already got his 2022.
He's got to wait till January. I'll get him.
Yeah, Trey said a handshake. He said hugged on the wedding day. Yep, he agrees. Brianna already answered, and we already said that for both Brianna and Ricky and Alyssa. No babies yet. They're enjoying their newlywed life. So, all right. So that's all the kids' updates. They were asking about us as empty nesters. Like, what are we doing? Rick is working. Okay. Rick's job that he has a management position, and he works a lot, and I don't like it, to be honest with you. But I do like the paycheck, so I'm not complaining about that.
But a lot of folks work a lot, and a lot of folks are always gone and everything. And
I know.
Yeah.
I'm still a little bitter about it. So this past year, it hasn't even been a year. Brianna and Trey got married in November. But it's working on a year. We had purposed a long time ago that as soon as the kids left, we were going to take some time to ourselves. Like we just knew that we were going to need that. And so that's pretty much what we did for like the first 6 months. Like we just sit in a room and stare at each other. Honestly, like we haven't done much of anything really. Like, I've just been focusing on finishing up house projects because I still have a bunch of it seems like it never ends, but since I have no help around here anymore, it's surprising how much you get. We have a big house, and when I used to have a bunch of people here to help me, it seemed like everything got done really quickly. Well, now that everybody's gone and it's just me trying to do all of the little things, it actually takes more time than I thought. Just to make sure the house stays straight and meals are done on time. And we still see the kids, like I said, at least once or twice a week. And my mom, of course, is here. Let me just say that I try to see mom every week on Friday. So we've just been kind of staying busy, but at the same time, not doing anything major, just really trying to relax and breathe and figure out what our next steps are. And it's actually, I guess we're more on the planning phase, I guess. Yeah. We're still thinking ahead.
I think a lot of people would say it would have been better to have a plan leading up to this. And honestly, I think that, and I can say that's probably the best thing. Yeah. But as life goes, sometimes you just have to run with it. Yeah. And before we knew it, you always in the back of your mind, the empty nest day is coming. Yeah. But it just feels like it's always coming. Yeah. But all of a sudden it was here.
It was there.
And I just realized, and maybe we had plans.
Well, I think we were busy with remodel.
I should have wrote them down because when it all happened, I was like, yeah. Yeah. It was a lot going on at one time. Yeah. And then all of a sudden it was just like, whoosh. Exactly. And, but with the job that in running all the time, I just didn't really have. I just don't always have time to think about what we're doing. And I guess it kind of causes some aggravation because you're constantly thinking, planning about what's next. Yeah. And when I'm at work, I'll be honest with you, I don't think about it.
You just think about work.
So when I get home in the evening, she's ready to talk about the future. Yeah. And I'm like, I need a second. Yeah. Before I know it's bedtime. So, we definitely need more time to think, plan, pray about it. Yeah. Well, and I admit that. One thing I think
some things incubating though.
This past Monday, I was actually off as well. And it was the first time in like forever that we just stayed home. And that was super nice. Yeah. And I just, and I'm not complaining, I'm just telling the story. That I'm constantly going, and it builds in you kind of an anxiety, and not like a scared nervous. I mean, more
just like a constant stress.
Yeah, you just that adrenaline that you just got to keep running and going. So we're home all day Monday, and you would think that would be very relaxing, but all through the morning into the afternoon, I'm just like inside. I'm just like this.
Yeah, I feel like you can't relax.
Yeah, because I'm like something's going on. I'm constantly feeling like I need to go. And then by the time it was getting like dinner time, I finally started to relax a little bit. But it was just enough time to get going again, to go to bed, to get back at it. So all that just to say this, the empty nest thing it's been interesting.
Yeah.
Not quite sure what the future holds. We do have some plans and a pretty good thought of which direction it's going. But it's still, there's a lot of details to be decided.
So somebody asked, and I think it's already scrolled up, are we staying here or moving at some point? And that is still up in the air. Because I, as you all know, would have preferred to move immediately. Rick, however, would prefer to stay. And at the moment, we're staying.
And again, I'm not completely, totally anti-move. I've never been anti-move.
No, we've actually we've talked about building a house. We've actually been recently looking at some models and some things that we might have built in the future. But
yeah, and that's all true. But honestly and truly, until I know for sure, we are planning to stay right where we're at least for the moment. At least for the moment.
Yeah.
I don't want to just jump into something and not be right.
Yeah, and we're kind of weighing some options. Yeah, Brianna said y'all ain't ever moving away from me though. And that's true. We are never moving away from Brianna. That is my commitment. at least let me rephrase that. And we'll never be completely away from Brianna. Because, even Brianna and we have talked about buying property elsewhere, perhaps even in another state. And there might be a time where we're away from her and that before she that it might happen, but it's never our intention to be away from Brianna. So let me just put that.
Who knows?
It's true. Who knows? This is why we haven't jumped into doing anything, because we don't know. I have been busying myself with one little tiny thing. Just a little tiny thing.
Oh, your tiny thing.
Just a little tiny thing I've been working on in my little spare time. I've been writing a book, y'all. I've been writing a book. Guess what it's about?
It's my memoirs.
No, it's not his memoirs. I've been writing a book about how to save money. About all kinds of things. I'm just saying, it's literally about saving money and raising a family. That's really what it's about. And because I've been, in this past year, I've been by myself and I was trying to think of what I can do. And I love to write. And it's been a long time. I used to blog before I started on YouTube. And I love to write. And I thought, this would be something good and helpful and healthy to be able to write something. So, but when you look around the world and you see all the things that are going on, as like all these things that I want to share. And plus my kids are grown now. I wanted to write something to help them when they're raising a family to be able to do it, if they ever need a budget and stuff. So that's my thing I've been doing in my spare time. Just working on a little bookie book. And I'm actually pretty far in at this point. So I'll keep you posted on that. I don't think I'm gonna be done in a week or two or anything, but here in the next few months, I think I could get it finished and everything. So I love that my family is hyping me up. Can I just say that? We have a good family. And making cheese nips. Y'all, those cheese nips are addictive. I hope you've tried them or will try them because they're amazing.
The cheese nips, they are actually good.
They really are. So yes, that's my little fun thing that I'm doing.
In fact, I had some before we went live.
I really thought about asking you because we don't eat in any of the rooms. I thought about asking you if I could eat them during the live event just because I want something salty. They're so perfect. So perfect. All right, that's it for family updates.
Yep.
I'm just-
I'm almost married to an author here.
Well,
You have written other things,
I-
not books, but you've
I've
written
been
articles and
published in
things.
magazines, you know. Somebody asked if I was thinking about homeschooling any more kids. No. Mm-mm. Except of course to help Brianna if she wants help with her kids.
Okay.
But
I was like, are we
yeah.
are we expecting?
No.
Wouldn't that be something?
Technically in North Carolina,
Surprise.
you can homeschool another family. That's not yours, but
Because when you do homeschool in North Carolina, you have to set yourself up as a school, right? We were a Christian school here, or
Yes.
a homeschooling school right here.
yes. So we could technically take on another family, but
I was a principal.
you were. Brianna, people have been asking about Lady. I don't know if you've said anything about it. Jody said maybe Trey and your mom should do a vegan cookbook. My mom is definitely not vegan, but Trey and Brianna could probably do a vegan cookbook. I keep telling Brianna that on her, on their YouTube channel, because they haven't put any content out yet on her channel, but I keep telling her that people would really love to see some vegan cooking for sure.
I said that last night. Did I not?
Yeah.
Through the sidewall while you were making dinner, I said what they should do.
She said Trey is the vegan king. He should have a shirt that says vegan king.
You could even have multiple channels. You could have a channel just
They
for
don't have
that.
multiple channels.
Huh?
Anyway, I'm going to get to some questions. Folks have been asking us questions, and I want to make sure we answer them. Mary said, I'll try to keep this one brief. She said, I'd love to know what life was like when you had little kids and how you managed grocery shopping trips and being frugal. Were you minimal with toys and kid things? What are some activities you did with the kids growing up? That's a lot of questions. I'll try to keep it brief. What life was like when we had little kids and how we managed grocery shopping trips and being frugal. Well, we managed being frugal because we were broke and we had to.
It manages itself.
Yeah, that was that. I mean, we had no choice. I do talk about it a lot in the little book that I'm writing, but I'm going to try to keep it brief and just say grocery shopping trips I managed because we trained them to,
I guess what?
Be obedient in the grocery store.
Well, I thought that's like two-sided. It's
Yeah.
Sometimes they ask, can we have this? Can we have that?
No, the rule was if you ask for anything, you get nothing. If the rule was when we went grocery shopping, I would always get one treat if we could swing it. But if they asked for anything, they get no treat. And that way I just shut it down.
I remember, and correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm sure you will, that there was like a 2 question thing.
Oh, that was for anything else. If you asked for something twice, the answer is no.
That's what I remember when they were little.
That was like if they wanted to spend the night at a friend's house.
Yeah, I remember you could ask for anything.
Yeah.
And then us being parents, we say yes or no.
Yeah.
But
sometimes it would be.
But if you ask a second time, which is more like the complaining whine kind of thing, then it was an automatic no.
Then it's a no.
Because then it's not being obedient to the no.
Yeah.
It's just trying to wear mom and dad down, and that was an automatic.
I tell you what, we always try to avoid is getting the begging and the multiple asking. So if it was ever that, it was no. And that's why in the store, if you asked for anything, it was no. And if it was something like, can I go to a friend's house, or can I do this, or can I do that? We would say yes or no, or we would say, let us think about it. But while I'm thinking about it, you better not ask me again because it's going to be a no. So, I mean, that's just, I know it sounds tough, but they're all right. They lived and they're fine. But we just did not want to have kids that were constantly like begging and complaining and whining, and that just was not good. Were we minimal with the kids' toys and things? I don't know that we were minimal.
Honestly, I do believe that I believe they actually had a lot.
Yeah, I think they had plenty.
It wasn't all from us necessarily. It came from grandparents. It came from elsewhere. But they always seemed to have their own stash of toys and clothes.
We were in
and
thrift
everything.
stores all the time, and they always had their own money, and because we encouraged them, if there was something they wanted, they could get money for it.
Yeah, frugal doesn't mean that you don't have things. Frugal is that you're just wise with what you get and when you get it,
what you spend,
kind of thing. So I think we always try to make sure that that everyone had reasonable expectations.
Yeah.
I think a bad thing to do to kids is to get them to the point that they think that they're, that the family, like, they're going to be spoiled. That's all that you got to keep everybody reasonably
Yeah.
that this is where we live. We
Yeah.
live down here. you know.
Not
Stop.
down here.
No,
over here.
you know what I mean. Down here with the regular people.
Yeah.
So you just stop looking up on the hill. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
You follow.
Brianna said I had lots of littlest pet shops and Barbie dolls, thrift store baddies. That's right. She still enjoys a good thrift store. In fact, this blouse I'm wearing, I got it the other day from Goodwill, and I love it. So the next one was, what activities did you do with the kids growing up? I mean, like everything. I actually think that I did more activities with them because they were homeschooled,
Mm-hmm.
and you had to keep them busy. I mean, I just did everything with them. Like, we went to the pool, we went to parks, we went to the library. One thing we used to do when the kids were little that we actually miss now, we went to the library every week. Especially this time of year, summertime, we would have the summer reading program we'd go to the pool.
Mm-hmm.
Anything. Like, we just, whatever we could to keep the kids busy. You don't want bored kids, because that's miserable kids, and that'll make you miserable. So we always try to keep them active.
Mm-hmm.
But they played sports. Ricky played baseball. Brian did soccer and basketball. Brianna, what did Brianna do? Brian also took piano lessons.
Brianna, well, she'll tell you she didn't play
Brianna,
sports.
what did you do?
She didn't play any sports.
I feel like she did do something, though.
What'd she do?
Girl, I don't know.
What'd you do, lady?
You did something. Anyway, but yeah, so I hope that answers the questions. In terms of, just having the kids and being frugal. Oh, she said she did American Girl dolls. You know what? She had a YouTube channel. We wouldn't have YouTube if it weren't for Brianna.
She did. So, when she was a young child, she was making little YouTube videos and things for the American doll thing. When did she do the goats? That was for something else.
Yeah, she volunteered. That was because I require all my kids to volunteer before they graduate. So she volunteered. Next question is your life now what you expected it would have been 5, 10, 15 years ago? No. I don't think we had a clue where our life was going to be even 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But I think life is like that. You know what I mean? You never know. If you think about what your life is going to be 10 years from now, you're probably wrong. You're probably way off. You have no clue what it's going to be. But
I agree with that.
Yeah.
If you go back like 20 years or so, how could we have guessed North Carolina? I didn't see North Carolina coming.
I would have never thought YouTube.
I would never in a million years have guessed that we would be living in North Carolina.
You could never guess you'd be preaching.
Yes. And Ricky would be in California, that kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, none of it. So you never know. How often we go to the pool? She says they're $5 a person around here. Okay, so oh wow, public outside pools are not free here. Here in Maryland, to get a pool pass, an annual pool pass, was about $600 for a family, which was not affordable. So we would only go occasionally. Here in North Carolina, as soon as we moved here, I was very happy to find that it is much less expensive. I think it's like, and Trey can probably answer it better than I can. It's something like $50 for the first person or the first couple for the whole season pass, and then I think it's like $20 every additional person or something like that. So I think it's a little bit more now. When we first moved here, I think it was $80 for a family for the whole summer.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very, very reasonable when you broke it down day by day. He says 80 for the first and 20 for each additional. So yeah, so it's still not, it's nowhere near the 600 it was in Maryland. And consider if you get the pass, you can go pretty much every day and kids are entertained the whole summer. So I don't
swim.
Yeah, these are all outdoor pools here, Jody. There's no indoor ones that I know of that you can get. You have to pay to go into the public outdoor pools. But yeah, so that was the cost of that. But we enjoy it. It keeps kids busy all summer. I did it when I was a kid and we had fun. So All right. Next question.
Next question.
What is your favorite part of being married to each other?
You go first.
He said, I go first. Yeah, Trey's family actually has a pond that we would often swim in as well, and that's obviously free. However, there are leeches, which, I have never had one, but they are there.
I told you about 2 hours ago that I was totally and completely content with you.
You did. You still feel that way?
Absolutely. No, I'll be honest.
That's not your favorite part of being married.
I know,
though.
but I just talk, and then somewhere in there you can find the answer. But I knew when the kids left, this house is long.
Yeah, it's 80 feet long.
Yeah, and I'm so we're back actually in Brian's old bedroom, and I'm glad we're doing something with this space because our room is way down at the other end. And I was kind of worried that I would look down at this end of the hall and see it dark and after the kids were gone and get kind of like lonesome kind of thing. Now, I do miss the kids more than I could ever express, but I don't feel that lonesome sense. And it's because, and this is the thing, the whole you make a house a home kind of deal. I would be terribly lonesome if you weren't in it. But I'm totally pleased with the closeness, the bond, the friendship, and that. I mean, I know maybe that's an easy answer, and maybe they want something specific.
Yeah, specific about me.
I'm with you, but I will start with the fact that the closeness thing is really what my favorite part is. I think there's a lot of people that's what they want, and I'm just thankful that's something that I have.
Well, I want to say something.
Go ahead.
And it's kind of similar in that it's not specifically about you, but it is something that we've talked about recently.
Well, if it's not about me, it doesn't count.
Well, I'll say
that's what they want.
I'll say something about you in a minute. So,
go ahead.
One thing I will say, we were talking about this morning, that it really seems like when the Lord puts people together, that he puts just the right two people together. You know what I mean? Rick and I.
This is the you complete me thing?
Well, kind of, but not in the Jerry Maguire sense. But honestly, I do think the Lord uniquely fits people that are just right. You know what I mean?
I think so.
And it'd be hard to narrow down the things that, like, what was the exact question? My favorite part of being married to. I mean, there's like a lot of things, but it just is like the unique fit that we are together, because I just don't think that anyone else. Get me. I just don't think anybody else
could deal with you, Rick.
No, I was thinking the opposite.
I know.
I was honestly thinking, because it was the favorite part of being married to you. I was thinking of all the ways that you fit with me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I understand.
Like I think Rick is a really good leader in that to me, because I'm a little bit of a strong woman, but he's a good leader to me because he really gets away 90% of the time. But sometimes I really sometimes I will dig in on something that I'm wrong about, but I think I'm right. But we've been married long enough now that I've seen it, that sometimes I've dug in on something, insisted on getting my way, and it ends up being a mess, and I should have gone with the way that he said in the first place. Oh. But I really appreciate the times when he knows I'm wrong and he will stand his ground, and it takes a very strong man to do that. And he, insists. So now, honestly, I think it's a little easier. Like this whole thing we were talking about selling the house. Years ago, I would have fought and cats and dogs and dug in my heels about it. But, I've been with Rick long enough that I do think that I'm not always right. He's got a lot of wisdom. And if he thinks it's wiser to stay here, then even if I really think it's a good idea, it might be something I'm missing. And I don't need to have every answer. I'm satisfied. I just feel like we understand each other. And I value his opinion. He values my opinion. And so I just think it works. But I think we're uniquely fit that way. You know what I mean? So what I was saying is we were talking about Brianna and Trey since they're here. you guys would have to actually meet them in person to understand, because I think sometimes people don't understand Brianna and Trey. But they are the same kind of weird. I knew it immediately.
She means that as a compliment.
I
folks.
do. I think that's how couples come together.
Well, everybody's a little weird.
Yeah, everybody has their own little brand of weirdness, and the key is finding someone who's your same kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And then it makes sense. So if you see Trey and Brianna together, they are.
If it's not your kind of weird, then it's offensive weird.
Yeah,
but if it's your kind of weird, it's like comfortable weird, and you want someone that you're comfortable weird with.
Yeah.
The offensive weird's got to go.
Yeah.
Comfort weird, yes. Offensive weird, no.
I think Rick and I's weirdness is we're both, as they say, mavericks. Like, we were both the people that like went to the library for lunch. We went to different schools, but like in our own way. Like, we're very comfortable being independent, but at the same time very comfortable being with each other. And so I just think we're
so we're the type to sit in a room together, but we text each other.
No.
Huh? No, that's a joke.
No, but we won't talk to anybody else. Because we just do our own thing, but we're content with our own thing and we're okay with it.
Yeah.
But yeah. but anyway, same with Ricky and Alyssa. Yeah. I mean, they're their own kind of weird. They're both happy in California. That's pretty. No, just kidding.
Well, I mean, in all seriousness, we don't. Alyssa is still new to the family, so I don't want to talk too much about her weirdness. But I know about Ricky's weirdness.
You know Ricky.
So if they're close, like they are, then obviously she does have some weirdness.
Obviously.
Because you have to be somewhat weird.
Or she's very tough.
Because I know my son. Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh.
So I don't know. So favorite part of being married to you, if I had to nail it down to one, I don't know if I could nail it down to one thing. But I will say this. I love... probably like everyone else, to listen to him tell stories. I love for Rick to just come home and just talk. I really do. I love how he talks. I just love what he says. I hate his jokes, but I love to hear him tell stories.
I've never told a joke in my life.
I think he's the funniest person ever when he's not trying. When he's trying, I think he is totally not funny. But when he's not trying,
man, how do you feel, dude?
He's hilarious.
Okay.
Now your turn.
I know.
Give me a specific.
Okay.
This was a good question.
You know, I do truly love how you take care of everything many times quicker than before I even can ask. You're already on it. You know, like someone mentioned something about a wife who cooks or something like that kind of deal. But I come home starving. And you could prolong dinner an hour or two, but you know that I'm going to come home in desperate need with the crazy eyes. And I come in the front door and there it is. And you time it just right because you care. And I appreciate that more than I could say. Okay. And that's just one of many things. It's like you've changed my coffee on me.
Yeah, you guys, he's half decaf now.
And she didn't tell me when she switched.
No, I did not.
She did an evil thing, but it was out of love.
It was out of love.
And I'm not as bitter as I used to be.
Because you feel better. He was having some health issues.
Somewhere there's a joke because coffee's bitter and all. I couldn't pull it out of there.
He was having some health issues, and
my ticker wasn't working right.
Needed to cut his caffeine. So I cut his caffeine without even telling him.
Because she knew I would say no.
I did know. But look at you. You're doing good.
Exactly.
And you still enjoy coffee.
And I thank you for that.
And you're feeling better.
I actually do. You know what? I thought I needed all that strong coffee to wake up in the morning.
No.
But with it cut down. And
guess what? You needed sleep. Who knew?
Exactly, I know. But with the coffee kind of half there, I find myself able to just get up fine. And I have fewer headaches and all kinds of stuff. So I appreciate that. And that's a change that I would not have made on my own. But you did it not to be spiteful, because you have love in your eyes. But it's but it's because you care.
I do.
And I guess one of the things I like about you or love about you is that many times you care about me more than I care about myself. So you know, there's a lot of little sappy things I could say.
Well, I like hearing them all, but we don't have to, keep going on the live event. Let's see. Oh, thank you, Sarah. She says she loves our sense of humor. Okay, and thank you, Jess. She said I'm resourceful. Thank you. Okay, have you been reading any interesting books? No, because I've been writing them and he's been working. And the only spare time that we've had in any book, we've been in the Bible for our Bible study, which, by the way, if you want to join us, we do it every Saturday and Sunday evening on the Bible study channel. It's the Bealles Bible study. You can't miss that.
That is true. As far as any kind of enjoyable things or amusements or anything, I can't really think of too many. I mean, maybe I almost want to ponder something just to be, more interesting. But in all honesty, these last 6 months or so have kind of flown by. And I think it's just because of the schedule.
Yeah. Well, we were doing the Bible study every single day. We actually just cut it down to the weekends so we could actually get some time to breathe because his job is so many hours right now. So we really haven't had any time to do anything.
It's a weird answer. It's a weird answer, and somebody may not understand it. We actually cut the Bible study down, and I think it's part of the reason it was more for the Bible study and rather than not for the Bible study.
Yeah.
And the thing is that I think we were stretched so thin that I think it was beginning to hinder the fruitfulness of the Bible study.
Yeah.
And now we've got it just on the Saturday, Sunday at the moment, but Saturday and Sundays have been very good. And so all that to say that.
All right. Home reno situation, summer trip plans. Many people are asking about us taking any trips. So home reno, I'll start with that. The houses, the big projects are all done.
Is that renovation?
Yes. The big projects are all done.
That's your clever, that's lady language.
No, that's gentleman language as well, because men say reno. What do you think Chip says?
I've never heard reno. That was a talk show host, wasn't it?
Chip and Joanna?
No, Jay Reno.
Oh, my goodness. See, this is why I hate his jokes.
He had a house show, didn't he?
This is why I don't like his
That was
jokes.
a house show, wasn't it? He was a flipper.
The big projects
Jay Reno, the flipper,
are done.
Okay.
I have a few little tiny projects that I still need to finish. But I just haven't been messing with them, to be honest with you. I've been so busy thinking about other things that I just haven't even. They're there. I know they're there, and that's that. I wish I had more to say about it. I keep saying I'm going to do like a tour, and I keep thinking I got to finish those last little projects before I do a house tour. One day you'll get it. But I think that's real life, right? I think most people, if they do a house, I know there's always little things. And if you had to show somebody, it's like never completely done. So maybe I should just do a video. I don't know. Anyway, well, maybe we'll do that. Summer trip plans. We're saving for a trip to California. And we would like to, with our Bible study, we've been talking about doing a tour for a few weeks where we go around and see folks that are in our Bible study. So we're talking about that. We're trying to see if we can sort that out, but that won't be in the summer. No way that'll be in the summer. Maybe fall, winter, something like that. It's a lot of planning, a lot of money. Yeah. But there's timing with his job. There's a lot of different things.
Between the timing with the job, gas prices, and then transportation and all that kind of stuff, and where are you going to stay?
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff. I would very much like to go to California at some point to see Ricky and Alyssa. Never been to California, but
I have.
I know, but at this time, just with the job and everything, yeah, I'm not a genius, but I do realize that a trip to California and back is not like a day trip.
No.
So that does require several days.
Did Rick change jobs again? He hasn't changed his job in a while. So I don't, so not really, but let's see. Last question that I have, and that's good because we're at an hour.
Okay.
So last question is motivation. How do you start to live more frugal? How do you stay motivated in this world with so many dollar temptations? How do y'all do it? Well, that's many questions. How do we start to live more frugal? How do you stay motivated? All right. So starting to live more frugal.
Mhm.
You know, now that it's just us and Rick is making more money, we have more money really than we've ever had.
Mhm.
We still aren't rich by any means, by any stretch of the imagination. We just don't have as many expenses. And so there's that. We're more comfortable. But we still like to live frugal. And I think the key is when you have extra money, and this is, you know, we've often lived in a place where there was no extra money.
Mhm.
And then it's easy to be frugal. That's easy motivation, because if you don't have it, then you can't use it. But when you
Nice.
have extra money and you are trying to make yourself be frugal, you know what I mean? The first thing that I do, and I did it today, frankly, is when money comes in, I immediately move some to savings
Mhm.
so I don't touch it. I mean, that's just the first thing. I just don't want to look at it. I don't want it to be there,
Mhm.
period. And how do you stay motivated? And I think one thing that motivates us is, number one, like, we have plans that we want to go see Ricky. We have goals for our future. Like, there are things that we want. And those things are bigger and more important in our mind
Mhm.
than going out and, you know, nickel and diming, buying little things that aren't important.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, keep the big picture in mind.
yeah.
I think that's it. If all you can think about is the here and the now,
Mhm.
you'll waste all your resources.
Mhm.
But if you keep looking toward the future, that will be a motivator to save and things. And you know, sometimes you just have to almost make a game out of it.
Mhm.
It's almost like a game of strategy or something.
Yeah.
You know, it actually, being frugal kind of
Yeah.
thing. I mean, I'm not even saying I always have the right mindset,
Mhm.
but honestly and truly, I think it can be a fun thing
Mhm.
to try to get the deals and things.
Well, it's like in your job, you look at sales reports,
Mhm.
right? And so you're always trying to make sure your sales are higher, your percentages are higher, all that. It is like a game in that every month I'm trying to see if I can save more.
Yeah, bigger deal, a better deal.
Yeah, I'm trying to see
kinda
how
thing.
much I can put in that savings.
Yeah. So really, honestly and truly, you got folks who just get excited about buying something,
Brandy's here.
right? And then you have others that get very excited about saving, and it's just a transition to mine.
Brandy that you work with.
Oh, hello.
Hey, girl. Okay. The last part of the question was, how do y'all do it? Because we are determined. That's really what it boils down to. I think you have to. We were talking about this today too.
Mhm.
You have to be disciplined. You have to.
And I think when you're an empty nester, it requires more discipline.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, you would think it would require more discipline when you have children,
Mhm.
but when you have children, it's almost a necessity because
Yeah.
you have to take care of the kids.
Mhm.
But now that it's just my wife and I,
Yeah, we can do whatever we want.
yeah, we could splurge more.
Mhm.
So you really have to just say no
And
and
we-
keep the big picture in mind.
We do, but like, I'll just get like a thing of raspberries. But I think that's helpful too.
Yeah.
Because I do think, you know, one of the reasons why people will splurge and spend a lot
Mhm.
is because they feel unhappy.
Yeah.
You know, it's like one of those things that you do when you're really unhappy with life or really stressed. You know how people like stress eat?
Mhm.
Some people will stress spend, you know, and it's like,
And then regret it.
yeah, exactly. You have to make sure your life is happy and full,
Mhm.
which no amount of stress eating or stress spending is really going to fulfill that. You know what I mean? You need to make sure your
And
life is fulfilling.
And I'm really a cheapo.
Oh yeah, well,
I
that's
really
a
am.
natural.
I was walking across the parking lot and found a $5 bill. $5 bill, right?
Who wouldn't pick that up though?
I picked it up,
Yeah.
and it's in the car. And I've could have spent it on silly, just nothing,
Oh yeah.
but still sitting there because
Mhm.
there's something in me that says, I'm not gonna spend that. You know, so it's just, you just don't want to splurge, kind of thing. It's not that it's wrong too,
Mm-mm.
but you just decide to say, I lasted this long without splurging.
Mhm.
Let's go another day.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. And but it's for a purpose. It's not just being cheap for the sake of being cheap,
Mhm.
but it's that there's something else that you want.
Yes.
Something bigger,
Mhm.
kind of deal.
I actually talk about it in the book, I talk about budgeting in the book. It's like the first chapter because you got to have a budget first.
Mhm.
But I talk about how, you have all your different budget categories, right? And you have your fixed expenses, things that you know that you're going to spend on every month.
Mhm.
And it's the same amount every month. There's nothing you do about that. And so you just pay those. That's like, Netflix. If you pay for Netflix, it's going to be however much every month, and you just pay it. It's coming out of your account automatically, right? But then there are other things that are variable, like your water bill might be different every month, or your electric bill might be different every month. And you're going to set, your budget to be what you think it's going to be every month. I always recommend that you try to over guess, but that way hopefully you have a little left over rather than trying to scramble to find extra, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then you have your other variable expenses like your groceries or your gas, or, all that depends on what you're spending. And so you try to make reasonable guesses when you make a budget. But the fact is that as you go through your month, I think Brandy said she used the Dave Ramsey plan. Whatever it is you're not spending. So if I budgeted $100 for my water bill was only $80, I got $20 extra. It's like you were saying, I could blow that $20 in theory. In theory, I could just say, oh, we can go out to eat now because I budgeted 100 and I got 20 left. But what you really need to do is take that 20 and put it away. You know what I mean? And that's why I said the goal is to every month, like, see how much you can save. You know what I mean? Just, do whatever you can, whatever it is you're not spending. So yeah, you have a certain amount set aside for entertainment. That's like you're going out to eat, going to the movies, things like that. And we were talking about this today too, because today is Rick's day off and we have an entertainment budget. We knew we were going to go to the movies. We'd planned this for weeks. We knew we were going to go out to eat. Like we knew what this day was going to cost, generally speaking. But we still chose to be a little cheaper in some of the things that we did. And the thing is that if you know you need to cut back and spend a little less on your entertainment, then, cut it out and put it in the savings, and cut it out and put it in the savings. And the thing is, if you're continually putting money in the savings, when something happens, the money is there and you're not like completely broke. You know what I mean? But like I said, it's just a matter of discipline. You just have to make yourself do it. And the question, I guess, was motivation. How do you make yourself do it? And that's why I said it's really a discipline thing.
Yeah. The problem is, I think some people want the motivation before they do it.
Yes.
I think, and this is wisdom.
Throw it out there, baby. Give them your wisdom.
Do it.
Wisdom.
And then you'll get the motivation.
There you go.
The motivation will be to continue on. Thank you. That's doing something for me. But seriously, some people, they sit there like a lump and they want to do something.
I wish I could do it.
But they're waiting for the feeling.
Yeah.
Do it and you'll get the feeling. Exactly. So that whole thing, if you want some motivation, whatever it is that you want to do, just bite the bullet and do it. And you'll be surprised how the next day you'll be motivated to do it again. That kind of thing. I told
this story, telling Trey today. I saw this video of Kobe Bryant, and he was talking about how he got to be as good as he is. And he basically said that, he has a schedule and he works out and he practices and he does things to prepare himself. And they were like, oh, during the off season or whatever. He's like, yeah, well, I give myself so many days to relax and rest after the season. He's like, but then I set a date and I make a plan. And, when that day comes, I don't negotiate with myself. I already set that date. I already made a plan. And every day I follow that plan. And what he was saying, it made so much sense, because he was saying, anybody, if they really wanted to, could just about be in the NBA and be a star player if they were willing to make a plan.
This is about anybody.
Really? Make a plan.
There's still hope for me.
There might have been.
It was always the shoes.
It has to be the right plan.
I need a better
It has
shoes.
to be the right plan, baby. It hasn't. I don't know if you can keep up with his plan. Not now. You could have. But not now.
Right.
Anyway, it was all that coffee.
Yeah.
So But the idea is that if you just make a plan and you stick to it and you keep doing it every day and getting better and better every day, then eventually you get to the point of excellence. But the problem is most people, number one, won't make a plan. And number two, even if they make one, they won't stick to it.
Yeah.
But if you can do those two things, you can do just about anything.
Mhm.
You know, make a plan, stick to it.
Because
Success.
excellence comes
Mhm.
as you're striving
Yes.
and pushing onward.
Mhm.
There are a lot of people that if they don't have excellence the first time out,
Yep.
they get discouraged and quit.
Mhm.
And those are the folks that often have great regret because they've never done anything.
Mhm.
But if you want to have success, you just have to keep going.
Mhm.
Give me my poof.
That was boom.
Huh?
I was saying boom,
I know.
not poof.
You're fine. All right.
I was like boom.
Okay, I don't want to. I like a boom. All right, never forget about the poof. But you said the wisdom is flowing out now like a spring.
Do it.
Huh?
Let it go.
That
People came here for your wisdom.
Well, wait. I'm a slow burn. That first hour was slow
that
and
was the
steady.
practice hour.
But now the poofs are becoming booms.
Boom.
Oh yeah, hour 2, boom hour.
Well, did you have anything else to add to the motivation question? Are you good?
Well, I don't. Yeah, just do it.
Do it.
Yeah.
I mean,
no, I'm serious. I
yeah.
know that. I know it sounds simple, but if you want to be motivated to do something, do it when you're not motivated. The motivation will come when you see that you're getting fruit from it, kind of thing. You get inspired. What happened?
I was looking. There was this one person that I was looking up their stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm trying to remember what it said, but it was this
motivational quote.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, I wish I could remember what it was or where I found it exactly.
Paraphrase.
But basically the idea is that, people who are waiting for motivation, they want something from the outside to push them to do what they already know that they need to do.
Mm-hmm.
And you really have to get to the point that you realize you are responsible for pushing yourself.
Mm-hmm.
There is no outside force that's going to make you do it. And frankly, if there was, you would really drag your feet against it. When it comes down to it, you are responsible for you. We live in a world right now that everybody wants to blame everybody else. Like you have these teenagers and young adults, they don't want to work and they're like, well, my parents didn't do this and the school didn't do this.
Right.
And everybody wants to blame everybody else. But when it comes down to it, you are responsible for you.
You have a free will and freedom to choose.
Yeah. I was thinking of an example, and I'm going to use an example of you, and you're going to love this one. When we were young,
okay,
and first together,
back when I was handsome,
I remember this. He set an alarm to get up for work, and the alarm went off, and he didn't wake up, and I didn't wake up, and he ended up being late for work, and he was mad, and he was like, "Why didn't you wake me up? You should have woke me up." And the reason why was because his mom had always come in.
You went a ways back, yeah.
Yeah, it was at the beginning. His mom had always come in
Mom.
and was like, Rick, you need to wake up. And my parents did not do that for me. My parents gave me an alarm clock and said, get yourself up for school. Nobody came and woke me up, and I always got up. So anyway, he was mad at me, and I was like, what are you doing? You're a grown man. Get yourself out. You don't need me. Ouch. You don't need your wife to come in here and be like, baby, sweetie, wake
up. That'll get be a motivator. That there's your motivation.
I don't wake him up anymore. He gets his own self up. And if he's late, it's his fault. And if he's early, it's his fault. But it ain't mine.
I learned this. The trick is to have multiple alarms.
Yeah.
I think I peaked with 3 alarms. I used to set 3. Now I only set 2, but I used to set 3. And that was the key for me to get up. And I would set them throughout the room. If you have an alarm by your bed, you'll turn it off and go right back to sleep. So I learned that trick, that I would stay in bed. So I used to set the loud alarm the one that sounded like the house was coming down,
Mm-hmm.
on the other side of the room to force me to get up. Some
Yeah.
mornings I would force myself to get up knowing that that thing was getting ready to go off.
Mm-hmm. But you
So,
see, but the point is that you
have to.
are responsible
Mhm,
for you,
mhm,
not your spouse, not your parents, not your friends,
mhm.
nobody else. You are
And
responsible for you.
and you're bringing up the way young think,
Mm-hmm.
and then I think the key, the thought there is that as you mature, it's really a maturity thing.
It is. This is an adult thing. If you're an adult and you have a family and you have expenses and you have, frankly, I mean, we're grown now. Our kids are grown. We don't have the kids anymore, but we still have grandkids coming up. We still have a future we have to prepare for. I mean, you know, there's always stuff that you have to be thinking of in the future if you are responsible.
Mhm.
There is no, oh, we can just, I mean, unless you're, so well off that money's not an object, in which case we're not having this conversation. But if you're a regular, normal person, you have to be wise.
Mhm.
And there is no, well, the government
Mm.
needs to take care of it, or my family needs to take. No, you are responsible for you.
Mhm.
Period. So you need to make sure that you are saving your money and paying your bills on time. And that's it. That's it. I mean, I'm not saying everybody doesn't have situations that might arise, and there's areas where we need to help each other out. But as far as you are able to, there is no outside motivation that you really need.
Mhm.
You just have to make you do it. And if you can get some self-discipline, you can be very successful.
Mhm.
It's really not hard. It was like Kobe was saying, you make a plan and you just get up every day and you go to the gym and then you go to practice and then that's it. Well, it's the same thing with your bills. Like you get up every day, you look at your bills. When the money comes in, you pay them.
Mhm.
And then you put the money in the savings and you don't spend the stuff that's not in your budget. The end.
And the freer you get,
Mhm.
the more discipline you actually need, which is kind of
Yeah.
ironic.
Mhm.
You actually have more freedom when you're not so free.
Mhm.
Did that make sense?
Yes.
Because my point is that when you, like, people oftentimes want to go into business for themselves,
Mhm.
or that kind of thing, have their own business, their own way of making money outside of just working for the man,
Mhm.
kind of deal. But then you have to be committed and disciplined to do what you need to do, because you don't have somebody over you telling you that you got to get up at this time, you got to go here,
Mhm.
and you got to
Mhm.
do this. You have to do it.
Yeah.
So actually, it's almost easier to have a regular job with bosses and a place that you have to go at such and such time. When you get out of that and you have to now you have to work just as hard,
Mhm.
but you don't have that boss over you.
Mhm.
Well, then you really have to be even more self-disciplined and everything, and motivated. And I'll tell you, maybe that would be a motivation builder.
Mhm.
When you realize that, hey, I don't have that boss over me, I've just got to light a fire under me, kind of thing.
I said that when Brianna and Trey left their regular job to have their own business. I said something like that to her. I said, a lot of people find it easier to have a job because when you have a job, you have a boss that comes in and says, you need to do this, this, and that, and you have this amount of time and
Mhm.
all of that. And then you feel the pressure to do it. So it's a lot easier just to show up, clock in, have your boss tell you what to do, you do it, and then you leave. It's a lot harder when you're at home and there's nobody telling you to get up and get yourself together and get all your stuff done.
Mhm.
And make sure that everything is ready. But that's what it takes, and that's why few people are able to have their own businesses, because few people have that discipline.
Mhm.
And that's why few people are successful with managing their finances, because there's not usually anybody over you. A lot of times, like I said, if you're broke and you're forced to do it, people are okay with it. But like you said, more freedom, the more money you have, the harder it is. You've really got to have that self-discipline.
Mhm.
I know I've gone on and on about self-discipline, but I really think it's the key.
It's the theme for tonight.
Everybody wants motivation, but it's not about motivation. It's about self-discipline.
Agreed.
Okay. Well, that was the last question that we had. I don't know if you guys have any wrap-up questions. We're right here. We're a little over our hour time.
Yeah, we were shooting for an hour tonight.
Yeah.
On the old live events, I think the longest we ever went was 3 hours.
We're not going for 3 hours tonight.
3 hour live
we're
event.
already at an hour 20, I figure what's an hour and a half. We got about 10 more minutes if you got any more questions. All right, well, let's tell a funny story. I don't know what else we could talk about. Cheez-Its. I'm trying to think of things that we've done videos on recently.
Mm-hmm.
I did a video with Cheez-Its with an amazing recipe, by the way.
I thought it was going to be a silly thing, but she even put the little dimple in it.
They look so stinking good.
Yeah, they look good and they taste good.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be a novelty thing and it was just going to be silly, but it was actually tasty.
Yeah. I did a video on 23 ways to save on gas.
Mm-hmm. Was one of them walk?
I said don't go anywhere. That was number one.
That's an easy one.
Yeah. Well, I know. I'm sure it's the one people think of, but again, you just got to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I even
or just go like to the necessary place.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? None of that.
No
and, you know, and I like a fun drive just as much as someone else. But when times get tough, you just have to say, you know, those country drives are going to have to wait for another time. Mm-hmm. That kind of thing. There's ways of making it, folks, is what I'm saying. And there's still, I know the dollar's gotten smaller, but there's still ways of making it stretch.
I've also been doing my summer of savings. Have you guys seen my summer of savings shorts? I don't know if you've seen that, but
shorts like videos, not shorts that you wear.
Yeah, shorts here on YouTube. And then I have reels on Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited about that. I mean, I made a list of 63 ideas, and there's snacks, hacks, and summer fun and learning. So I've got something this first week. I wanted to cover a couple of hard ones the first week. So this week is mostly beauty hacks. So the first one was about not getting your hair cut.
Mm-hmm.
You know, which I wanted to do that like at the beginning. That way, you know, I warn you at the beginning of the summer. No haircuts this summer, or do them at home. That was the idea.
Ladies can get away with that.
So can gentlemen. I was talking about when the boys were little, we just shave their head.
Mm-hmm.
But now I cut your hair.
You cut mine.
Yeah.
So that's been cheap for the last 20 years.
I know. Isn't it great?
Yeah. I remember the barbershop days. You would have, you know, tips and everything. I mean, it would go up. It would go up.
It's expensive.
Yeah, especially when you had boys too. Mm-hmm. Everyone's getting, you know what I mean?
I'm glad you guys like it. Yeah.
Snacks and hacks.
Yeah, I heard that. Rick's 45 minutes away from his job too.
And it is tough now with gas prices and such.
Girl, it's so hard. Those gas prices are killer.
I mean, I tell you, it's hard to find a gas station now where you don't hear crying. You know what I mean? It's tough.
I'm crying.
I got a friend of mine who's on vacation right now, and he went to Florida, mm-hmm. and just the gas to get there, kind of thing. And he's pulling an RV. So
I'm shocked he spent so little if he's pulling an RV.
Cha-ching.
Wow. Anyway, but
maybe they had fuel points. I don't know.
Maybe that was one of my tips though. Fuel points.
Mm.
One of the many. And I was trying to think of what else. Did I do another video this week? I feel like I did 3 of them.
You did a haul. Didn't you do a grocery haul this week?
Yeah, no, it was Dollar General clearance sale haul. That's what it was. Yeah. Hopefully I'll do a grocery haul this week.
Kidnapped me from work and took me on part of it.
He loved it. He was on his lunch break, and I was like, we're going to Dollar General. And he was with me when I found the toilet tissue and the paper towels.
Where were you when you were? I was right beside her.
He was trying to convince me that I didn't need the toilet tissue or the paper towels of the Dollar General clearance sale. I was like, no, it is so cheap. It was
Don't judge me, ladies. I just don't get all choked up over TP.
Yeah, he does not like to carry the toilet tissue.
Yeah, I have cringe feelings about that.
He is a grown man who does not like to carry toilet
I
tissue
don't know.
in the store.
Now
It makes him uncomfortable.
I have matured in many ways, but there's just something about it. I cannot.
You will do it now,
I can't.
but you don't like it.
Not comfortably. I get an eye twitch. I get an eye. When the kids were little, if we had to go and buy toilet paper, I would make the kids carry. Oh my! And if I went to the store to buy
the tissue,
I would always buy something else to go with it.
Mhm.
I would have to buy something else. Anything, trash bags, soap. I didn't care what it was, toothpaste. I could not just go up to the register with the TP. You know, I would have to have something with it because my thinking, oh, it's getting weird now, but my thinking was if you go into the store and you buy the toilet paper with toothpaste, you were making a shopping trip and you were just buying things for the house. But I always thought if you go into a store just to buy the toilet paper, people think you must have an issue. There's something happening.
Issue is you ran out.
I guess, yeah, but it may have been crucial. So there's something about it. It gives me a cringe all over. And I used to make Brianna. I don't know if she's still here. She probably got bored with us, but she used to be my carrier. I would have her carry it.
Doesn't care.
So, but I've gotten better now.
Yeah.
I only have like a little twitch, and it usually ends while we exit the parking lot.
So he held the paper.
I was just bearing the truth, folks.
But actually, he actually held everything when we went. But I was thrilled to get it.
I was just happy to be in somewhere with air conditioning.
Oh yeah, it's been very hot. Anyway, all right. Well, I guess we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up for this evening.
You ended it with the toilet paper.
Yeah, it was a great story. So, I hope to have a grocery haul this Friday. I don't know about y'all if you have a discount store. My discount store, I've been going to it every week, hoping, praying that I will find some good deals. And I just haven't found very many, honestly. Like the last few weeks, it's just been like almost nothing. So I've thought about doing a grocery haul video. It hasn't even really been worth it to do a grocery haul video because it's like nothing exciting. I haven't been excited about grocery shopping in a while. It's hard to get excited about grocery shopping when the prices are so high. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to go ahead and try to go this week because I want to just go and check it out and see what they got. And I'm really hoping that there'll be something, and I'll hopefully have that up by Friday. So keep an eye out for that. Somebody asked me to do a video on eBay, tips on selling on eBay. And I actually might do that because I do think that people might need some extra money this summer. And while kids are home and stuff, this is a good time to like clear out your closets, and everybody needs a little extra money for gas and food. So this is a good time.
And we used to do it a lot.
Stuff. Oh yeah.
And there were times when we were really stretched for $1.
Yeah. We lived off eBay.
Yeah. And whatever we got, it was a big help.
Yep.
It was a great blessing.
Yep.
When we used to do it more often.
So there'll be that's some things that we have coming up, and I'm trying to get this guy to get on some videos, but we'll see how that goes. So,
folks, I'm out of practice. I am totally comfortable on the Bible studies,
live events, of any kind,
right? But I don't know. Regular videos, it's not like a bike. You have to keep it rolling. But yeah, I was actually on her. I've been on her about making more videos. And then she said, good idea. And then she said, well, you do them with me. And you know what? I'll be honest with you. I'm not anti-video. I'm actually, that's a good idea. And then she'll say, you want to film now? And I'll say, no. Let's plan it out a little more. So that kind of thing. We've tried a couple of vlogs, but you know what I mean?
Yeah. One day he'll get back in the saddle. Anyway.
I don't know. So you got to live a certain kind of life to be an entertaining blogger. You know, there are nuggets that anyone can pull out to make an interesting video, but vlogs require a certain amount of pizzazz, oomph. You know what I mean? You got to do something. You got to be like a rock climber or something.
Lisa said you should do your own video. You should do your own vlog.
Who?
I think you would.
Who?
Lisa
Me?
said you should.
Well, I did the 3 vlogs many years ago.
And that's what they want. They want another one.
It was a couple years ago when my family left me for a week.
I'll be there, Brandy.
And I did the 3 I did the 3 vlogs.
Mm-hmm.
They're like an hour long or 40 minutes long. They're long vlogs. That was the page turn. And I did 3 of them.
Yeah.
That is my trilogy. That is what I leave behind for the people. You know, about a couple months ago, I actually skimmed through them. I watched them again because I was thinking, I wonder if this will be like a cringe thing. But I actually enjoyed them. I said I would watch that guy.
Should make some more.
I don't know.
There you go. All right. Well, hey, she said no. Oh, Brianna's here. She said no more page turns though. All right. That's it for tonight. You know something?
I got a lot of hate because of those page turns.
But they're iconic.
There are some people that like him. Some people don't understand. So
nobody liked them.
People that do editing, you understand.
We're over an hour and a half.
I understand, but I'm just going to explain. So when you go from scene to scene, you could just kind of skip to the scene, or when you have the video editor, you can do a very artistic thing, and it just does the page turn. It goes from one scene to the next scene like you're turning a page. And there are so many people that were anti-page. I got all kinds of years later, people bring it up. And I don't know which side of the fence you're on, but I see a vlog as like a video journal. And I was trying to journal my week by myself when you all left. Mm. And I thought it's like turning a page.
I have a playlist that's called Rick. And on that playlist, you can watch Rick vlog. And you can see the page turns if you're interested.
It'll make you laugh. It'll make you cry.
It made me cry.
Huh? if you got a 40 minutes of whatever. Ladies and those. My only company for the week was a deaf cat.
We're gonna sign off.
And she got tired of listening to me.
Let us know in the chat and the comments if you guys like doing a live event. We'll try to see if we can't squeeze in a few more here and there.
We can't go away now. We got the 10 questions.
No, we do not.
Remember that?
Yes.
Some people don't remember that.
You guys remember. If you want to hang out with us, we are on our Bible study channel every Saturday and Sunday evening. You can join us there if you're interested in the Bible study. We just hang out. We go through the Bible. We're going through the Psalms right now. Mm-hmm. Super easy, nothing stressful. But you can hang out with us every
if you're new to it, it's the Bealles Bible study.
Yeah, the Bealles, just like the title of this channel, Bible study. You can search that out on YouTube and you can find us.
Used to be called Fundamental Faith. Now it's just Bealles Bible study. Like this channel used to be the Fundamental Home, and now what are we? We're the Bealles. Okay.
So Rick tells plenty of stories and is always entertaining. So anyway, all right. Well, that's it, and we're done for the evening. So again, thank you guys for hanging out with us, and let us know if you enjoyed this, and we'll try to see if we can do it again. So we'll see you guys next time.
Y'all have a good night.